Police chief in Madison, Wisconsin, says a police-involved shooting death of 38-year-old Corey Ruiz will be investigated as a homicide. At a press conference yesterday where protests broke out, John Patterson refused to identify the officer involved except to say that that person is on administrative leave. A warning, this video contains graphic content that could be upsetting for some viewers. Wisconsin Public Radio's Sarah Lear has more.
Here's what Madison police say happened. They responded to a report about a man checking car doors. That man was Corey Ruiz. Ruiz fled from police on a bike. Eventually, they caught up to him and there was a struggle. They say Ruiz pulled a knife. The police used a taser on him. They say it didn't work. And they say at some point, an officer was injured by the knife, and that was the same officer who shot and killed Ruiz. Bystander video appears to show Ruiz on the ground at the time this officer fired what sounded like 3 shots.
Sarah Lear reporting. The officers weren't wearing body cameras because only some officers in the Madison Police Department use them. Ruiz's family has retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump to represent them. Crump also represented the family of George Floyd, as well as other families at the center of police-involved deaths. I'm Janine Herbst, NPR News in Washington.
First off, before I begin my take on this video, I just want to say RIP to Corey Ruiz, and sending much love and prayer to his family after this officer-involved incident. When I looked at the specifics about all the controversy surrounding this incident that people are rage baiting about online, I did find out he did have a knife, but that does not give an officer a reason to use deadly force when somebody is on the ground and then they fire off 3 rounds in his head and instantly unalive him. For what? He was already on the ground. They said he stabbed a cop. Okay, but he's already on the ground. But he had a knife. Okay, but he's already on the ground. And there were at least 6 of these monsters that were on top of him, restraining him at the same time as this other thug who calls himself an officer of the law, executed him in broad daylight. Had it not been for the innocent bystander, whoever filmed this, kudos to you because you are a real community hero. Had it not been for that bystander, we would have never had this video. This is why I tell people always have your phone handy, because you never know what's going to happen when you're out in public. Very sad. Very, very sad.
People all over Wisconsin were shocked when they saw the execution of Corey Ruiz. People all over America are shocked when they see the execution of Corey Ruiz because they understand when they see that video that it was so unnecessary to execute him. It was unnecessary, unjustified, and unconstitutional how they executed Corey Ruiz. Thank God there was video. Marge, if there wasn't video, we can only imagine what the narrative would have been.
Salute to Attorney Ben Crump. We appreciate you, brother. As usual, you know, Ben Crump, boy, he is a traveling man. He is a very busy man. I have seen this man do at least approximately 5 or 6 press conferences on a matter of different cases in different states. I can't keep up. It's like, man, brother, I don't know how you do it, but can you imagine the sleep that this man probably loses behind all of these, cases and press conferences and interviews that he does? Can you imagine? This incident, let me remind you, happened in Madison, Wisconsin. It's very, very far away from here. Ben Crump's office is based out of Florida. Just keep this in mind. Ben Crump is based out of Florida, but went from Mississippi to Texas for another case And now in Madison, Wisconsin, for another case. It's a lot of traveling. At this point, I feel like Ben Crump is our Black Jesus. I really do. You know, I'm not saying it in a funny way. I'm saying it in a way of he's literally the community spokesman for the Black community and the brown community too. And for anyone else who has had any type of wrongdoing who is non-Black. But just like Ben said, I did a snippet of a 2-minute video that he had a press conference on. He said, thank God there was video. Thank God there was video. He right about that. Oh, he right. Because had there not would have been video, just like he said, they would have tried to spin the narrative and created some false ass story, making up whatever they want to make up as usual, and then putting it out on the media. You know, my patience is really wearing thin. I too have lost sleep, my damn self. I don't sleep very well at night already because I have insomnia. That doesn't help either. But just knowing all of these different cases going unsolved and just no type of justice being done, it really bothers me. I'll be honest. It really, really bothers me. And I think this is why my brain just stays scrambled 24/7, because it's really hard for me to sleep knowing that there is so much wrongdoing going on that never gets solved. Especially when it pertains to the Black and brown peoples. It really pisses me off because I'll tell you, you know, this right here hits me really hard. And I'll tell you why. You know, this gentleman, Mr. Ruiz, the one who tragically lost his life, I don't know nothing about him, don't know his background or nothing, but just knowing the last name was Ruiz hit me a little bit different than these other cases because I have brown people in my family. Yeah, my nieces are half Hispanic. My nephew is half Hispanic. So yeah, it affects me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It does, because it just makes me think like, damn, Black people are safe, brown people are not safe. It's like nobody is safe. That's not, you know, pretty much of the opposite color. You know, it really sucks right now. It's really scary. The world is a very scary place. And this is why I stress the importance of always sharing your location with people, making sure you always have some type of recording devices with you. Make sure you always have a camera, something, so that somebody knows something. And at this point, you know, with all the rallies and the protests and stuff, which is cool and all, nothing is ever going to change. I hate to say it. I hate to burst your bubble, but I feel like nothing is ever going to change. There is no justice. I'll be honest. It's just us. And when I say us, I'm referring to Black and brown people. It's just us. There's no justice. None. But now I will say, according to news reports, from what I've learned about this officer-involved shooting, is that they're treating this case as a homicide. And they put the officer that did the shooting on administrative leave, which is procedure, which I believe is bullshit. I believe if you unalive somebody, even if they had something on them, but you survive, but yet intentionally unalive them already while they're on the ground, you don't deserve administrative leave. Hell, you don't even deserve freedom, to be honest. You deserve a ticket straight to jail and plenty of prison time. And for the record, let me say this real quick before I go. Do y'all remember when the world was really falling apart and it was on fire in 2020? This reminds me of the George Floyd case. The only difference is that George Floyd was on the ground unarmed when he was tragically unalived by a cop who put his knee in his back. And the whole world protested, and the city of Minneapolis torched their own city and burned down approximately 10 buildings and a bunch of cop cars. And I feel that maybe, just maybe, we should dial it back to 2020. Forget the peaceful protests, no. Forget the rallies, no. Forget the interviews, no. We should dial it back to 2020. I feel that if Black folks can come together and protest, then they can do the same thing and dial it back to 2020 to really make a change. Because I don't think that we're angry enough. I really don't think we're angry enough. I really don't. Now, as far as making some change, making some action, the only thing that I can think of, honestly, going to your congressman, going to your local mayor, going to your local governor, whoever's in charge, and harassing the everlasting crap out of them. That's like the only thing I can think of. And if that doesn't work, 2020 it is. We should do a rendition of 2020. That's what I think. I think this will probably solve a lot of issues with a lot of conflict across different cities in America. But no, everybody wants to sing Kumbaya, be peaceful. Nothing wrong with singing Kumbaya and be peaceful. But at the same token, sometimes you gotta do a little eye for an eye. That's all I'm saying. Don't come after me. It's just an idea. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying it's just an idea. Maybe Black folks should go back to 2020. That's all I'm saying. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments below.